Let's go! Nick Bolton kicks us off here with a first half breakdown. Yes, sir, the Philadelphia Eagles start really strong, but if I would have told you that while Saquon Barkley was getting shut down in this game, you would have told me I was crazy, and that's exactly what happens here. Saquon really couldn't get going. Biggest call early in the game was this offensive pass interference. Y'all, this is OPI all day, every day. You can't hit somebody in the helmet. And look, if you're going to call hands to the face, that also works. That's probably the better call here, because if it was offensive pass interference, I don't mind letting minimal contact go, but it should have been hands to the face if anything, and this is obviously a huge break for the Kansas City Chiefs. It wouldn't be a Super Bowl if there wasn't a Kansas City Chiefs slow start in the first half. So, truth be told, they probably have to like where they are on this play early. So, in-breaker here, tight coverage here, and this is a little wheel for Hollywood Brown to come out here. And look at the choreography here from the Eagles. It is so well passed off. I mean, that is just butter. Now, we get to the actual pocket here. It does begin to collapse. I think the mistake right here from Patrick Mahomes, though, is if both these ends are this far upfield, the better option would have been obviously to step up here and roll out here. Another reason I like you rolling out to the right side is there are all your receivers to the right side over here. So watch what he does. He actually decides to go backwards, and take a look at this play right here from Jalen Carter. This is one of the best plays I've ever seen in the first half of a Super Bowl. So the first thing that's interesting here is he adjusts his helmet, okay? Then he also gets blocked in the back right here. This should have been a penalty. And while he's falling down, he's still able to make this play on Patrick freaking Mahomes. This is really, really, really good stuff that he was still able to bring him down. And you'll see this a little bit later in this half. Look at this, okay? If he breaks this, Mahomes' running in this game wasn't really good, if you ask me. I think Mahomes should have been able to get to the outside of this. Jalen Carter is a freak. If he gets to the outside, there's no telling what he would have been able to do on a scramble drill with all three of these guys over here. But this was the story of the first half. Look at every Chiefs wide receiver basically blanketed here, and this is almost picked off. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. All right, so we get this ridiculous play right here from Jalen Hurts, all right? Back to pass, and I love this concept. You can see in all of our preview pieces leading up to this, who did we say the big player for the Eagles was going to be? Dallas Goedert. So what do? All right, vertical here, vertical here. The Chiefs were the worst defense in the NFL in terms of total yards versus tight ends. So you have two verticals, a deep over. The deep over was also the route in the last Super Bowl that the Chiefs couldn't stop. Okay? Now, this was something I've criticized Steve Spagnuolo on throughout this season defensively, is I understand zone blitzes are a big part of his defense, right? Or simulated pressures. You're bringing a guy from here and you're backing an end out. But, man, I would love to see what the Chiefs' EPA defensively actually is when they drop a defensive end back into coverage, because just anecdotally in my Chiefs film defensive breakdowns, this has been a struggle, right? It always seems like they give up big plays. Look, this one to Saquon would have gone for a lot of yards as well. And Jalen Hurts all day to throw. The Eagles are not fooled by that pressure at all. And look at that. Wide the frick open right there for Goddard for a big gain. Okay, so you get this call. This would have gotten the Eagles off the field, but it is a helmet-to-helmet contact. Is it soft? Yes, okay? But if you're going to call the game soft like you did on the first pass interference penalty, guess what? You got to call this one too. So it is a penalty. All right. What a freaking play right here by Jalen Hurts. First off, this is a beautifully designed pressure. Remember earlier, I told you how much I dislike ends dropping back into coverage. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, whatever. So you get a patented Steve Spagnuolo blitz coming from over here, and Tranquil's job is to come over here and guard Dallas Goedert. You on this. But Jalen Hurts likes this press matchup versus Jahan Dotson. 35 gets flat-footed. Dotson stops and goes, and man, this is such good anticipation right here from Jalen Hurts, okay? He sees that it's a stop and then go, all right? Look at when he actually decides to throw it. Notice he decided to throw it before Dotson was there with this separation. Okay, that's really, really, really good anticipation. Trusting your number 12 option to make this catch. It is really freaking ridiculous stuff, and it is a touchdown. I don't care they marked him short. Get to this 3rd and 3. Mahomes gets stopped short here. The first thing I want to show you before I show, an all 22 or end zone angle of the play, watch what actually happens here. I understand Mahomes gets tripped up a little bit here, so he is off balance, and he loves to do this jump pass thing. But you'll see that Nolan Smith was not bringing him down. So he jumps up here, and part of why Mahomes likes to jump up and leave his legs is just in case he is getting tripped, his knee doesn't go straight down, and he's able to still get this ball off. Okay, now you take a look. If he doesn't jump and just gets vertical, he's running for a first down here pretty easily, okay? So you'll see it right here. Was there anything open? And the answer to that is no. You got a little whip right here from Travis Kelce. It's covered. Is this open? Yeah, I mean, Hollywood is right here. Okay, at first I thought there was nobody open, and I see what happens. Why doesn't Mahomes just rip this ball right here to Hollywood Brown right there for a first down? I don't know. And now he decides to throw it to him, and it's too late. Okay, get vertical. You can see if he's able to run, he's picking up this first down. Okay, and maybe more than that. Instead, he throws to a now covered Hollywood Brown, and it's a punt. All right, fellow Saints fans, how about this? You get 2 offensive linemen out right here, and you get the run game going, right? You have your ends all the way back here, and they give you a few yards. Obviously, weird formation, but you get 4. You get to 3rd and Overland Park, and, man, this is a very exotic pressure. You're bringing a corner at a press man from all the way over here, and you have a delayed pressure up the middle. Man, this is ridiculous stuff right here from Spags. And guess what? Nick Bolton is through here, and Jalen Hurts just forces his up to his guy, and Cook is just over here ready to pick this. A.J. Brown was covered pretty well, and that's a really good diving interception. Wow. Story of the first half was not only the Chiefs' offense sucking, but how good the Eagles were on 3rd and medium. Okay, this is really good stuff by Jalen Hurts. You see, everybody is just sitting right here at the sticks. Well, guess what happens? He just waits for this vertical right here to carry this corner, and he knows that this is going to be, man, this is some ridiculous stuff by Jalen Hurts. So Mahomes and company have to punt again. You get some really good pass protection, and Jalen Hurts throws a fade ball right here to A.J. Brown. It's just a ridiculous play. This time, A.J. Brown, no hands on the face of McDuffie, and he makes a huge, huge, huge catch. Man, I've looked at this quite a few times. I don't see a false start here, okay? Trust me, I just think this is offsides, all right? This would have given the Eagles a first down, but they call the false start, and Eagles have to kick a field goal, and they do eventually make it. All right, let's get to the 2nd and 14, and Juju Smith-Schuster actually gets open, all right? So Mahomes, first off, gets off this Marquise Brown little stop, And then you'll see that the protection just breaks down. There's no pass rush up the middle, but both ends just dominate their pass blocking assignments. Okay? And these aren't the Eagles' starting ends. Pacheco should have been able to pick up 19 here. Sweat, he beats him to the inside. Joe Tooney gets beat. Hunt is able to get through there. And if Mahomes had time, this dig to Juju Smith-Schuster would have been open, but he sacked. All right, it's 3rd and Olaf. And guess what? Patrick Mahomes throws a pick 6. Protection this time is actually really freaking good. Twist stunts, everything is picked up, and Mahomes just throws across his body into danger, and that's a big, big, big problem, okay? So, yes, this is not good if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, but you can also see on that play that every single player was smothered and covered. Now, here's the big thing. It is more important in this situation than even the INT to tackle him, right? You were going to punt the football anyway, but you're giving away a touchdown here that nobody was able to bring him down. And that was another thing on the play. Some of your faster receivers actually fell down on the play, and that makes it that much easier to take it back to the house. All right. It was eventually going to catch up to you that you had a left guard playing left tackle. And Joe Tooney's been mostly good. Okay, but man, this is just not good. Mahomes should never throw this pick anyway, but Sweat has so much pressure on Mahomes that it does affect this throw to Hollywood Brown on the dig while he's getting hit. You can see that ball is dying right there. It's a really good catch by Zach Bond, but still, it's just more bad quarterbacking from Patrick Mahomes. And we get to this right here from A.J. Brown, wide open on the in-breaker. And what the Chiefs were thinking here is that somebody on this side of the field was going to pick up A.J. Brown on the shallow drag. That is not what happens. Also, Chenal getting burned bad by Goddard again has him running and chasing Ghost. And look at this. Bolton is trying to fight over here to A.J. Brown. He's just never, ever, ever going to get there. And look at that throw right there from Jalen Hurts, wide open. And A.J. Brown, who was yelling on the sideline, does eventually get his Super Bowl tutty.